Mom backed my brother's scam to take my inheritance. Here's how it ended. My name is Ethan, I'm 32, and my family always assumed I'd never fight back. Quiet one, the agreeable one, the guy who kept the peace no matter what. Maybe that was true once. But when my grandparents passed and left everything to me, the house, the savings, nearly $700,000 in assets, something inside me shifted. I wasn't the pushover they thought I was anymore. I could already see what was coming. My younger brother, Ryan, has always been the kind of man who can grin while bleeding you dry. Flashy, loud, and perpetually broke, yet somehow convincing enough to talk anyone into bailing him out. My mother never held him accountable. Not for the credit card scams, not for the cars that mysteriously disappeared. She always smoothed things over, always made excuses. Meanwhile, I was the dependable one, the safety net, the one they leaned on when Ryan blew everything up. The house was the crown jewel, a red brick Victorian with ivy curling up the windows, the kind of home people drove by just to stare at. 3 generations had lived there. My grandparents refused to sell when the neighborhood boomed. Now it was mine. I didn't brag, didn't move in. Instead, I transferred the deed, savings, and every asset into a trust, airtight and lawyer-proof. I paid extra to file it under a business name so it wouldn't pop up in public records. I knew my family too well. For months, silence. Ryan sent a text once, asking to use the pool. The house doesn't even have one. Mom dropped hints about fairness. I nodded, kept my mouth shut. Let them think I was naive. The storm broke on a Saturday. I was in the yard trimming hedges when Mom's car pulled up. Ryan jumped out grinning like he'd won something. She followed with a clipboard. Hey man, Ryan clapped my shoulder. We've got news. Mom smiled like a realtor about to cut a ribbon. We spoke to a lawyer. The will was flawed. The house should have gone to both of you. Don't worry, we fixed it. Ryan whipped a folded document from his pocket. Title's already transferred to me. You'll need to be out by Friday. I just stared. Not panicked, not angry, almost amused at how confidently stupid they looked. Then I smiled, small, cold. You really think I'd let that happen? Ryan laughed. It already did. I didn't argue. I let them walk away, convinced they'd won. 2 days later, they returned with a moving truck. Hired men carried dollies up the driveway like they were storming a castle. Ryan sipped coffee in the passenger seat, smug. And then they saw the porch. I was standing there with a man in a navy suit, badge on his belt, folder under his arm. County Office of Property Records. Are you Ryan Cole? The man asked. Yeah, why? The suit flipped a page. This property has been in a protected trust since April of last year under the management of Ethan Cole. Any recent claims, including your attempted title transfer, are fraudulent and subject to prosecution. Ryan's smirk collapsed. Mom stepped forward, desperate. There must be some mistake. The deed was in your grandfather's name. We assumed. You assumed wrong, I cut in. My voice was calm, almost gentle. I never left it in my name. You forged a transfer based on an outdated record. That's a crime. The man in the suit nodded. Given the circumstances, hired movers, attempted eviction, we're filing it immediately. If you step onto this property again, it's trespassing. If you touch the trust, it's fraud. Silence. The movers looked at each other, spooked. One dropped his dolly and edged back to the truck. Ryan finally spat. You're really doing this to family? Family? I let the word hang. You forged papers to steal my home. Don't talk to me about family. Mom tried one last time, her voice trembling. Ethan, you don't understand. No, you don't. You thought I'd still be the kid you could guilt into carrying everyone else's mess. You were wrong. The county officer tucked the folder under his arm. We've already alerted the precinct. Consider this your only warning. Ryan's jaw clenched, but he turned, snapping at the movers. We're leaving. He didn't look at me again. The truck pulled away, taillights disappearing down the hill. The air fell quiet, the kind of heavy quiet that only comes after a storm. I stood on the porch, the same one where Grandpa used to sit with me and say, don't judge people by their words. Judge them by what they do when they think you're not watching. And in that moment, watching the road empty, I realized I'd finally stopped being their victim. I locked the door behind me.